This is the end of an era. Hi guys, it's for Kayla, and today we're gonna take out my braids, and I'm also gonna have like a little life chit chat with y'all and get more personal with y'all today. And so let's go ahead and get started. So I already took out one, which is really not a lot, but I need something to put my hair up with. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I had to get something to put my hair up together. So I be all over the place every time when I sit down to try to make a chit chat video. So I have my guidelines here, and we're gonna start off with saying a preference. Obviously, my life is not like a one. This is like a warning, I guess. My life is not everybody's life. My experience is not everybody's experience, and that is okay. We all live different lives, as we should, and we're all different people and different types of people. So the first thing I want to talk about is graduation. So if you didn't know, I graduated college last year, and I just turned 24 in June. But even though I graduated college this year and I just turned 24, I stay at home with my mom still, because my mom's a single mom, so I don't really have a dad. I have a dad, but like he's not in my life. And so lately, people always talk about, you know, how accomplished you are once you graduate college and stuff like that. I want to talk about the downsides of it, because honestly, since graduating college and life really doesn't go the way you expected it to go. So I am a biology, well, I was a biology major, so I have a bachelor's degree in biology. And when you graduate, it's not like life just magically falls into place, and it's really something that people don't talk about unless you major in something where, like, you know, you don't have to go to grad school. And I don't know if I said this before, but I'm in grad school right now. I'm in a master's for medical science right now, in hopes that one day I'll be able to go to med school. So what people don't talk about is how you feel after you graduate in life. It's just really just not there. Because I can honestly say, in the last year since I've graduated, this is probably it's not the most depressed that I've been, besides, like, actually it is the most depressed I've been, besides that one time I got my heart broken. But like, I just feel like my life is not going how I planned it to go. And honestly, like, obviously I'm proud that I was able to make it to finish college or whatever, but a lot of times I feel kind of hopeless, and I feel like my life is not where it needs to be. And I feel like this comes from social media, because you look online and you see, like, everybody that's your age, they have their life together, they have, like, you know, doing their content, making their money, but life is not perfect. Life is not linear. Everybody don't have it figured out. So I'm starting to learn how to be more comfortable in the fact that, yes, I am 24, and no, I do not have it figured out. I know what I want to do, but I'm just not there yet. And I have to learn to be okay with that. So that even comes along with, so lately I've been in the gym a lot. We're kind of like bouncing subjects, but I'm going to hit them all. And I've been in the gym and stuff like that. But even with me starting my weight loss journey, and this applies to all aspects of life, you have to love yourself where you are for every step of the way. So whether you start going to the gym today and you're 600 pounds, you have to love yourself at that 600 pounds. Like, self-love doesn't just start when you get skinny. Meaning, there are plenty of people who have gained weight and still love themselves, and there are plenty of people who have lost weight and still have not found a way to love themselves every step of the way, because body dysmorphia is definitely a big thing. So for me, my 20s, I feel like, obviously teenage years, everybody's like, you know, that's when you're figuring out who you are, that's when life's the hardest. For me, my 20s have been and will probably always be the hardest part of my life, because I feel like this is kind of where I learned about myself and who I was, and I learned my place in the world and stuff like that. So I didn't really get into like dating. I never did anything, and I'm still very much a homebody and all that stuff until I was 20. So after all that happened and I went through like my first heartbreak and everything, it kind of opened my eyes to not just areas in love, but like areas in my life, and how I'm a constant in most people's lives, but I don't feel like I have found that in other people besides my two best friends. They're always there for me, like when I need them and stuff like that. But oftentimes I find myself feeling lonely simply because I just feel like, I don't even know how to put it into words, but I just feel like, even rather, like, a lot of times I feel like a back burner friend, if that makes sense. Like, people only want to be in my face or around me when they want something, besides my like two friends, like even family and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like ever since, you know, graduating, going through my first heartbreak and everything like that, I feel like I've kind of like isolated myself from the world, because I noticed a lot of things that I never really paid attention to before, and the way people like do me and stuff like that. Because I'm more like, I used to think that whatever you put out into the world, like, you're gonna get it back, and that's really not always the truth. And it's something that people with big hearts really don't want to talk about. But sometimes in the real world, you get done dirty, or, you know, people do you dirty and they get to move on with their life, and you're kind of stuck in this place where it's kind of like, what did I do to deserve that? And you have to be okay with just letting go and just letting God. And that's with anybody, family, friends, relationship. If you know that you've been the best person you can be in anybody's life, and they have not been that for you, no matter who they are, you just gotta let go, and know they may not reap their karma, or you may not get to see it, but it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I can honestly say, for me personally, outside of like all the materialistic things and stuff like that, the best part about me is my heart, and how I'm able to love and care for people the way that I do without regret. Like, I don't regret anything that I've did. And I did go through a phase where I did start to regret some things that I had did, but I was like, you know, you learn from those things. They made me who I am today. So I don't regret it, but it was just a learning lesson. And another thing, this goes back to graduation. So I know this is like, we're like in and out of topics. I told y'all this is why I made the list, because I'm ADHD. So y'all, look how long I had these braids in. I've had these braids in for going on 2 months. Well, and not like 2 months, not touching them up or anything. So it's been 2 months, but I've gotten the front redone. And anyways, I ain't gotta explain myself to nobody. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like I was saying, I have a bachelor's degree in biology. So when I was searching for jobs, it's jobs in that field, but it's nothing that I really wanted to do, because I knew that I wasn't very interested in research. But now that's the area that I'm going until I can get, you know, try to go to med school or whatever I decide to do in healthcare. And the job search has just been so exhausting. And I know a lot of new college graduates feel that, because you want to graduate college, you know, get you a nice job, you know, really start living and stuff, living out on your own. And that's another thing. When you stay at home as you get older and stuff, it's kind of exhausting mentally, especially if you are from like a household that's probably not the best for your mental health. So it can be exhausting when you just want to just pick your life up and go. So how am I mentally? Y'all, these are from the guided notes. I'm going to stick to the guided notes because I have been everywhere in this video. So mentally, I'm kind of just in a place where I'm just like, I have to let go and let God. Like, I can't control how people view me. I can't control things that people have done to me. I can't control it. So when something happens to me, or I feel like I'm not being treated fairly, there ain't not really I can do. I don't have anything else to say. So sometimes, as I was talking about earlier, I feel like a sense of loneliness. Like I feel like I don't have anybody to talk to that would really like understand me. And this just happened recently. Like this is what kind of put, because I've always felt this way, but this is kind of what put like the cherry on top for me. So everybody that's in my life, I go out of my way for them. If they need me and I'm able to help, I will help you. So one day I'm sitting here, I'm like doing my makeup or whatever, and I'm just like, it wasn't really nothing going on. Like I don't really have anything like in specific that's going on in my life where I'm like, this is really bad. Like I don't really have that, if I'm being honest. So this one day I'm just like, I don't feel like I feel sad today. I just need somebody to talk to. So I got on my phone and I called a friend and we talked for a little bit or whatever. Not one of my best friends, and then they said that they were going to call me back and they didn't. And I wasn't talking about nothing crazy for it to be that urgent for you to call me back. But still to this day, I have not talked to this person. So it kind of made the gears in my head turn in a different way. Because had the roles been reversed, I either would have sat there and listened to you, or I would have made sure that I called you back. Simply because that's just the kind of person that I am. So I'm like, it's really, that kind of puts stuff in perspective for me, is that I'm always there for people who are not there for me. Like in the times and the ways that I need them to be. So, y'all, look, that's Stormy right there. She's pregnant. So, I forgot what I was saying. So that kind of just added on to the sense of loneliness, because it's like sometimes it don't even be nothing serious, but sometimes you just want somebody to call you and talk to you. Like anybody that calls my phone, I will sit on the phone and talk to them for hours. That's because I sometimes, other than like the people that I live in the house with, I can go days, even up to a week or two, without having just like random intricate conversations. Like it's always just like hanging by with the people in my house. And it's also like my family. I'm talking about like people outside of your family. Like I can go weeks without having like conversations with people other than my family. So that's even besides the point. So where I am mentally, I'm already a naturally isolated person, because I feel like for me it's more peaceful when I'm in isolation. But at the same time, it's like I miss that social aspect of my life, and I do enjoy talking like a lot. So what is it? So I talked about, let's check our list now. So we talked about how I feel after graduation. Well, I think we did. We talked about the job search. We talked about how I was mentally. We talked about support and reciprocity. Oh, okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about, this goes back to support and reciprocity. Reciprocity is giving to yourself as you do to others, and vice versa. So it took me so long to realize this out of my 24 years in life. Whether it be mentally or physically, you always have to put yourself first. How are you going to help somebody mentally or physically or whatever way if you don't do it to yourself first? And what I realized in life, so a lot of times outside of, because me and my family, we're usually very outspoken people, but when it came to like my friends or in my dating world, I wasn't as outspoken as I needed to be. And I realized I was constantly sparing others, but I wasn't sparing myself. Like the way that I was talking to myself in my head, I would never talk to any of my friends like that, and I would never talk to any of my partners like that. So you have to learn to treat yourself how you would treat others, and make sure you always put yourself first, no matter what. Whether it be, taking time to yourself, doing self-care, or just making sure that you don't let people cross your boundaries. Like you have to stand on them. If it's something that you don't like, no, I'm not saying you gotta argue or nothing like that, but if it's something that you don't like, you always need to make sure to let your friends or your partner know, like, I don't like this. Like, that's it. And if they cannot respect your boundaries, get them out of your life. Because people that love and respect you will always respect your boundaries, out of fear of losing you, and simply out of love and respect for you. So that also leads on to the topic I'm about to talk about, is dating. like I said before, I never really dated or anything like that until I was 20. And then when I did, I experienced like my first heartbreak and stuff like that. And because of that, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm really not interested in dating whatsoever, because I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they're only interested in like the sexual aspect of it, and I'm really just not interested in that with most of y'all. So I choose not to date, and that's another thing where I feel like I probably should get myself out there more. But I feel like when the right person comes along, then I will know, or they'll come find me. I don't know how I'm gonna get back into that, but it's so peaceful not dating. Like, you don't have to worry about crying yourself to sleep, somebody, you know, acting one way with you and different another day. You just, you know, you just be vibing and stuff. So yeah, after I experienced my first heartbreak, I decided to never date again. Well, not never, but I'm just not interested in that at this point in my life. And that also goes along with like living at home, graduating, and figuring like I don't have my life together. I don't really care to date. So what's next? So my experience dating. So my personal experience dating, it really doesn't matter. I just learned that if you really love somebody, if it's not working out, or, you know, maybe you love somebody that probably don't really love you back or don't want to be with you in that way, you gotta let people go. That's what I learned. Don't lose yourself in trying to chase somebody else, or lose yourself and trying to figure out what did you do wrong. Probably nothing. People have their own trauma, their own stuff that they're working through, and you cannot blame yourself for what the next person is going through. That don't got nothing to do with you. But what else did I have to talk about? I really don't have nothing else to talk about. This was just a bunch of word vomit that I really put together. I think I just needed just a second to just talk and just get my thoughts together and get them all unjumbled. But the whole point of this video is that we all go through stuff mentally. It's okay to not have stuff figured out. It's okay to go through things and learn from your situations. And we all experience times where we feel like we've outgrown our environment, and you learn and you move on. And that's another thing that I feel like I'm going through, is I feel as lonely as I do because I feel like I'm outgrowing my environment. The people, not my friends, but the people in my life, where I am, the city, all of it. Like, I just feel like I'm outgrowing it, and it's putting me in not a great space mentally. So I'm really not for sure when I will, but hopefully in the next year I'll be moved, or at least moved out. Anyways, I could probably go into more detail about each topic, because this is kind of just like an on the surface video. But thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. And if you want me to go into more detail about some of the topics, then just let me know, because this was just kind of like on the surface how I'm feeling, just general topics that kind of run through my mind daily. But besides the point, I'm gonna be back when I'm finished taking my hair out, because I started taking my hair out on camera. I'm gonna let you guys see it finished out, so I'll be back. Okay, we got all of it out, and just by the way that my hair is sitting, I got frustrated towards the end. I can already tell I have cut my hair. So there's that. So I've had these braids in for about 2 months. I don't need to get a ball so it can be more. And this is how much hair I've lost.